So that was a complete and total shit show.
And welcome to the shit show.
Yeah, right? How's it going, guys? Namaste in the house. Can you hear me, sir? Perfect. Gerald, how's it going? Man, we've had an absolute shit show of an evening. We went to some friend's house for dinner tonight, and it ended up snowing like crazy while we were there. We had a bit of an ordeal getting home. So we made it fine, but yeah, it took way longer than we were anticipating, that's for sure. So sorry we're running a little bit late. Hey, Barry, how's it going? The Ritter RSK, there it is, the orange one. Yeah.
Pardon the dogs. They're excited we're home.
Yeah, because we literally just walked in the door of our home. Our dogs are going nuts and running back and forth. And the house we just came from had several dogs. So
I'm getting accosted by dog noses.
Yeah, we smell like other dogs. So they know that we cheated on them.
Right.
So, yeah, Gregory, how's it going? So, yeah. So what are you guys up to this evening? Anybody doing anything good? I'm having a good night. Gregory, Penny. Yeah, it's been says the connection is unstable. Is there any buffering on your guys' end?
There was, but
there was
not on my end now.
So I'm sitting here with my lovely wife, Molly. Molly, say hello.
Hi.
And what we've got for your face balls tonight is was gonna talk about doing some mods and whatnot to knives. I don't know if you guys watched the video I did on these two Max Ace knives I just posted the other day, but I talk about this Max Ace Corvus K and the fact that it was really rough on the scales. And I don't know how well this is gonna show up, but I actually sanded down the G10, and it's kind of hard to tell because it's still Jade G10, but I took down all the high ridges because all the scallops came to points up on the edges. And yeah, it was pretty easy to sand it down. I didn't take very much off, but I kind of contoured the scales. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell or not, but they're still pretty flat right through the center section, but they're just a little bit contoured now. And it actually improved the ergos on this guy quite a bit. So yeah, pretty cool knife for sure. The Max Ace stuff, I've with the few that I have here, I've been thoroughly impressed. They're pretty cheap knives, and action on them is spectacular. I haven't done a tremendous amount of cutting with either one of them yet. Just really, I did just enough to see how they were, in hand. This guy here, the Max Ace Ranger, is really fantastic in hand. It's a little bit thicker of a knife, so it definitely fills the hand pretty well. Let me grab. So that guy there, yeah, it's right at just about 6/10 of an inch thick. So it's pretty small in this dimension here, but definitely a nice knife, that's for sure. And it's got a hell of a stabby blade on it. So What are y'all carrying this evening? Tom Weingert's in here.
How many does yours say?
So you're carrying the Koenig Mini Goblin. I'm wearing a Koenig hat. Goblin here to take a look at. I do, however, have the G slip. Ain't nothing but a G thing.
Ain't nothing but a G slip, baby.
Yeah.
Penny's got a ladybug.
Got the ladybug. Gerald's carrying the Demco, the 8015, I'm assuming. So, Spyderco UK penknife and a PM2, huh? Nice. Sorry, my dogs, I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. The dogs are going nuts. They're wrestling and carrying on in the background here. This is not at all how I to go this evening.
Hi, Tom.
But we got like 4 inches of snow.
Yeah, and we didn't expect it to be that bad of a drive home, but everything was snow covered and everybody was driving ridiculously slow. So that made for just a great time. We were really surprised to see that many people on the road on a Sunday night, you know, when the NFL playoffs are going on and stuff. So we were hollering at people like, go to your home.
Fifth Arch, carrying a Manly Wasp. Here's my Manly Peak in 12C27. It's an absolutely stellar knife. It's a good one for sure, as is the Wasp. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I did not know we were supposed to get all this snow, or I would have definitely tried to get out of there earlier, and did not know it was snowing until we opened the door and went to walk outside. So it was kind of a little bit of a shock, and there's several inches on the ground. So I don't know. Well, I know Gerald's not dealing with any snow down in Florida, but the rest of you guys, you in an area where there's snow?
Oh, there's been a lot up
Northeast,
snow,
right?
Yeah. There's all kinds of
80 degrees today in Florida, Gerald says.
over a foot. Where are you at, Penny? That's a lot.
Yeah.
I had to cut my grass a couple days ago.
So anyway, guys, so I was going to put it out to you. I've got a few knives that I'm dyed the scales on, and
Eastern
I was
Washington.
in where?
Penny's in Eastern Washington.
Eastern Washington. No snow in Colorado, Texas. Right on. So I was going to put it out to you guys to see what colors you think I should go with a few of these. So I'm going to dye this particular knife right here, this Corvus K. And then I'm actually going to have my wife talk for a moment because I'm going to go grab a couple others.
Oh, no. What do I talk about? Oh, what do you guys want to know? Ask me questions. Oh my gosh, Penny, that snow's still coming down right now? Jeez. You guys might be snowed in. Snow day Monday. British Racing Green is a suggestion for the knife.
Yeah.
What is, I'm going to have to look that up.
You know, it's like a dark green.
Oh, okay.
Like a dark hunter green kind of. Well, maybe not that dark, but.
He's an every knife fan, Namaste. I don't think there's any bias, really. He likes what he likes.
Yeah, I'm definitely a Koenig fan. The Mini Goblin's a little too small for me. I like the Arius better. But when I was out in Boise the last time, I went and toured Mr. Bill Koenig's shop and got to hang out there for a little bit and meet the man. So yeah, and that's where I got the hat from, and yeah, it was pretty cool to see the shop. So yeah, definitely a fan of Koenig for sure.
My favorite dog name is Walter. If you're trying to hint at another, that'll be the last of that.
Yeah, she's gotten some shit. He put up a video and burned her pretty hard talking about that I had a dog named Molly.
Ooh, bird.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it made me laugh.
So here's the other knife that I'm going to dye the scales on. Anybody have any guesses on what this is?
No.
Hello?
No, it takes a while.
Yeah, it does take a while.
Can't expect immediate response.
So here it is right here.
Ivory and Della.
Nope. It's the Ivory Stretch 2. So I was thinking about doing this guy, and I've got some racing red, which I think would be cool. I think the ivory would take the red really well. But Gerald, you like the ivory how it is, huh? Yeah, I don't mind it the way it is. I certainly like the stretch now that they made the change to the blade. The original stretch where it had that belly on the spine was just a pretty ugly affair. So that one, Namaste, I was not a fan of. But this thing's pretty cool. And yeah, so I was kind of thinking about maybe doing black wash on the blade and maybe go red on the scales. I don't know. We'll see.
I
see
just
what
hope
happens.
the red turns out as vibrant as you're going for. That's the only thing I'm not sure about.
Yeah, does anybody have any experience with doing the ivory scales? Does it or the red dye? Does it turn out well?
Yeah, you could get a piece of that material in ivory and I don't know, test it maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, Gerald, that was one of the things I was worried or concerned with was the fact that it being ivory in color, it's going to get dirty really fast.
I like Penny's style. She likes black and purple.
Black and purple?
That's how I feel too. Everything should be purple. Purple and blue, purple and black.
I do have one knife that I dyed a really long time ago in purple. It's actually pretty dark purple.
It's purple.
But yeah, this is a total knockoff piece of shit. I don't even remember.
You can't say shit.
Oh, okay. Don't say shit, guys.
As I drop F-bombs.
Agreed. Molly purple best.
Best.
So really,
yellow's yellow.
Yeah, no, we're not doing yellow. So really, I've done the purple and I've done this one. Those that don't know, this knife right here used to look like this. It was blaze orange, and you can still see the orange in there down in the milled lines. So that's kind of an effect I was going for. I mean, the orange certainly doesn't stick out, but you could almost kind of looks antiqued or weathered a little bit, but turned out pretty cool. So yeah, definitely. Tom, you would avoid disaster and leave the scales alone, huh?
I mean, that's a way to go. Like
Fifth Arch. Oh yeah, that is tons of people have it. And yeah, it's a knockoff. I mean, it doesn't say ZT on it, but it's an 0456, I think.
How do you have room in your brain for all these numbers?
Because I have a giant cranium.
Touche.
I have a huge head. So, talking about modding knives or changing the colors, I've got a few other ones here. This here is the TwoSun TS-82, and this is one that I'm going to anodize. And then I also have got the TwoSun TS-124, and this happens to be my lady.
My lady.
So if anyone's got suggestions on what colors should go on these, a whole bunch of my titanium TwoSun knives I've actually sent out to a couple of different guys right at the moment. So BJ Hill over at Hilltop Knives and Gear has got a handful of them. And then another box of them went out to Ben over at Blade Banker. So you guys, I'm sure most of you subscribe to both of those guys. So check their channels out this week. I'm sure you'll see on both of their channels. They neither one of those guys had ever really handled TwoSuns prior to this, so I thought it was a good. Already got the package I sent to him, and as far as I know, he's loving it. He's already posted a couple of videos. Posted several pictures. He's enjoying it quite a bit, actually. So felt odd. Which one are you talking about, Gerald, that felt odd in use?
No, Penny, you don't need to say it. Everything should be purple.
Oh yeah, the 456. It does feel odd, Gerald. It's just too short, whatnot. It's the same as the BT version, and this thing's a cheap turd that you can buy on Amazon for I don't even know what, $15 or something. But this one actually has double row ceramic ball bearings in it, and it's actually I don't know what the blade steel is on it. I'm sure it's terrible, but the construction on the knife's actually pretty good. As you can see, the action on it is really good. So yeah, but certainly the RSK definitely better in hand for sure. This knife is beautiful, and the G10 on this thing just makes this a winner for sure. It definitely the action is stellar. Just there's a lot to love about this knife right here. That is for sure.
He's made endless comments over the last few days about how much he likes that knife. He's been flicking it everywhere. Oh. And he almost just died just then.
Yeah, no, this is an absolutely gorgeous knife for sure. So, a few of these other ones are ones that people talk about all the time. The McKenna actually shocked me. I really did not think that I would like this knife at all, but it's one that really works well.
What's up, Big Red?
Hey, JB, how's it going? So, yeah, we definitely like the Civivi McKenna more than I expected to. I'm not sure. I always heard that their Damascus was a 9CR variant, but the more I've looked at these, I actually have two Damascus Civivis right at the moment. And, unlike most Damascus, you can see the layers on the spine of the knife and, like on the flipper tab and stuff. And on this one, you cannot see any layers at all.
Oh, I didn't even notice that
on the spine. And now I'm not saying that it's not Damascus, but just they may have polished that out because it is polished. However, I don't know. So I guess I was going to do some cut testing with this one, and I have one other one.
See that?
Yeah, just a second, guys.
JB, did you get the blur for Nelly yet to try? And if not, you're dead to me.
You're dead to me. Hey, Chad, how's it going? So we're gonna change up a few knives here. Actually, I'll leave that one in here.
I don't know about that.
whether it's Damascus or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to
so
make any assumptions, but like that just doesn't seem.
So here's the Civivi backlash in Damascus, and again, if you look at the spine, you know that you cannot see the layers at all. So yours from the side, that's gorgeous and it's beautiful, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, we have a new person, Crazy Knife Freak.
Crazy Knife Freak. Hey. Peter B, what's up?
Peter B.
So here is a Spyderco Indela in Damascus. And as you can see on the spine, if I can get it to focus. Hello? Focus.
No.
Maybe. There it is.
San Mai steel? Could it be San Mai steel?
You can see, well, San Mai construction is like when there's two layers that are sandwiched.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't have one here right at the moment that's San Mai.
Asking if maybe that's what could be.
I don't think so, because you know, you can see the rolls in here. So this would be, you know, if this were made by Damel, they would call this, I think they refer to this as jelly roll Damascus. So you know, this would be a completely different process on how they make the Damascus. It's interesting that you don't see any layers on the spine. And I'm not saying that it's not Damascus. It's something that I noticed once I got these in hand. Like I said, if you compare it with the Spyderco, you can absolutely see the layers on the Spyderco, and just two totally different approaches, you know. And the Spyderco is a VG10 variant of Damascus, but you know, I mean, this backlash is beautiful in its own right, and it appears to be stainless, which is great. But as far as I know, I haven't seen anyone do any cut testing with any of Civivi's Damascus. So that's something that I'm definitely going to do here very soon, is do cut testing with both of these guys and see what we're actually working with, because I'm just really curious to
show me what you're working with.
Yeah, see if they perform well or not, you know. Speaking about performing, I don't think Kurt has posted it yet, but I just sent Kurt over at J Cool G19 a whole bunch of knives to do some HRC testing on, and I had some pretty underwhelming results. And it happened to be this knife right here. This is the Pena X Series Lanny's clip, and this is made by Riot. And one of the knives that I sent to Kurt is a Riot made knife with S35 VN blade steel. And I don't remember exactly down to the 10th, but it was like 55 something, 55.2 or 55.4, which is, we'll just say that that's pretty sad. Definitely not what I was looking for.
My knives were the wiener.
Yeah, my wife, I sent Molly's old Benchmade mini grip Tillion in 154 cm, and it was the hollow ground version, and it did extremely well. It was like 60.5 or something for 154 cm, was really nice. So,
because I am
JD
the
Shadow.
wiener.
Hey JD, what's up? Vitoku 2. Oh yeah, San Mai construction on the Spydercos. Yeah, that's a totally different style of construction, where you have like you have a harder steel that's in the core, and then you sandwich that essentially with two other softer steels. So you know, Spyderco's done it a bunch on a bunch of different models. I don't have one here, but generally on the San Mai stuff, you'll have a line. you know, similar here, like on this Damascus where you have this really dark line, there'll be just, you know, it won't be this much contrast in the color generally, depending on the steels. But, you know, like they did a Mannix with 154 CM and S90V. And they did another, I think they did I can't remember. They did the Dragonfly in HAP 40, I think, and something else. I don't remember all the different versions they've done over the years, but that's what sand my construction is when you're sandwiching a much harder steel on so your cutting edge becomes the harder steel that's in the center, and the spine of the blade is the softer, more durable, tougher steel. So yeah. So anyway.
Hi, Zach.
Yeah, Big Red. Molly and I are going to Blade Show this year, and so is Kurt. I see Cool in the house here. So yeah, and he says Molly's knives were the winners. Yes, they were. It's pretty disappointing.
Do I win a prize?
No, you don't win a prize.
Damn it.
So hey, Zach, how's it going? Chad? Yeah, we told the story earlier, but sorry we were late, guys. We ended up with a pretty good snowstorm here in Iowa, and we went and had dinner at a friend's house, and we're supposed to be home a long time ago, and we ended up having a little treacherous drive home. So we literally walked into our house at like 7:31 or something. So I was scrambling trying to get stuff set up for this. But here's a cool knife that I was going to show off here. If you guys are not familiar with this.
Ooh, J. Cool says I win a prize.
Oh, okay. Well, he's nicer than I am.
Oh.
So, this guy here is from Urban EDC. If you guys are not familiar with them, I guess it's Urban EDC Supply. And this happens to be the Justin Lundquist Baby Barlow. It's quite an interesting little thing. It's very, very small. This was donated, or not donated, but loaned to me by one of my viewers, David. And definitely an interesting little knife. It's I guess a top flipper. If you can see it. What?
Tom said, didn't you marry a prize?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I did.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Way to stick up for me. I appreciate that. So,
oh, that's adorable.
So this Baby Barlow has got a flipper tab up on the top of the knife here.
They say it looks like a little tiny baby in your hands, your man hands.
It is.
It's a little baby.
So this thing, let's just get an overall length on the handle here. 3 inches, 2.935 handle length, and blade length is 2.07, so just barely over 2 inches of blade length on this guy. As far as I know, this thing is rocking M390 blade steel, and you're looking at blade stock in 97 thousandths. So definitely a small little knife for sure. It's all really heavily stone washed and just kind of a dark gray titanium. And the blade matches the scales. And then you've got this little, what appears to be just like a textured G10 insert. It almost has a carbon fiber look to it, but it's really just the texturing that makes it appear that way. I have certainly a lot to say about this thing. These things are pretty spendy. If anyone's looked at these guys, they're definitely proud of this thing. And, you know, it certainly feels quality in my hand, but it's really, really, really small. And I literally have to use my fingernail to get in, to get the lock bar. As you can see there, the lock bar actually sits inside the scales slightly. Now there is a little bit of chamfering there that gives you a little bit of cutaway to get in there, but my thumbs are so big that I literally cannot get in there. I mean, I can sometimes if I really jam my thumb in there, I can get it. But most of the time, I have to use 2 hands and stick my index finger in there to release the lock bar, which is
I don't even understand how
not
you
ideal.
can open it like that. I can't open it like you do.
Okay.
It's hard.
The D10 on it's kind of strong, so you do have to put some meaningful oomph into it, but when you do, it flies right out there. One of the things that I think, I guess they did this just to stay true to the Barlow design, but I mean, there's nothing about this that is true to the Barlow design. But if you can see there's a nail nick on that blade, which is absolutely ridiculous due to the fact that the blade sits totally inside the scales. So you can see the spine of the blade right there, but that nail nick, as you can see, there's absolutely no way you are accessing it.
Triple EDC said, I already lost it and I'm not even holding it.
Hey, Triple E, what's up? My wife's supposed to be letting me know about comments and stuff because I'm really not looking at the computer at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of mention of how tiny it is.
Yeah, it's very, very tiny. So
it'd take me 10 minutes to lose that knife.
Yeah, it's definitely small. That's for sure. Let me grab it.
Oh, we have a puppy potty break from Big Red.
Oh.
Teach him to hold it. I'm kidding.
So here we'll get an overall length for you guys here on the old baby Barlow. So she's exactly 5 inches overall. So there you go. That thing, and like I said, I don't know if you guys have looked these up or not, but they're proud of this thing. I mean, these things sell for like it's over $200. I know that, maybe 235 or something. So yeah, I guess if you have to have this, then you can go pick it up at Urban EDC Supply for maybe 235 is what they're going for.
That seems a bit much.
Yeah, and you know the action on it, like it's riding on bearings for sure. I haven't opened it up.
Do you have an Espada XL to put next to that toy?
I do not have an Espada XL, and honestly, all my big token large knives are gone.
I smoke cigarettes longer than that.
I do have a couple of larger knives. So here we go. Here it is against the Cold Steel 8015. So there you can get a good idea of the size there. So really, it pretty much fits entirely inside the handle of the 8015. What else do I have here? Now I've got the TwoSun TS-162. That's a fairly large knife as well. Oh, and the one that was sitting right next to it, the Max Ace. That's a big old beast. So yeah.
Triple E says, I hope it comes inside one of those Russian doll presentations.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting knife, and like you know, there's no doubt it's really well made. You know, the thing is nicely made. It's nicely finished. I don't know how well you guys can see the stone wash that's on it, but it's really nicely done.
It's very matte.
Yeah, it's a real matte finish on the blade and on the scales. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's a well done thing, I guess. I don't know if you guys can see the hardware under there. So there's the 2 screws that are right underneath the pocket clip there actually hold the liner in. And then you can also see you've got hidden hardware here on the pocket clip. And if you can see the screw that's holding the pocket clip on from the inside, that hole goes all the way through. And you can see the you know, there's a notch in the scale there where the pocket clip sits and the screw goes all the way through. So you just have the one standoff in the back. So definitely an expensive little thing. That's for sure. And I haven't really, you know, there's not much to say about the ergos and stuff on this thing. I mean, all the edges are really well rounded and stuff like that. But, you know, it's so small. It's just like a 2-finger knife, 2.5 finger. I guess you can, you know, hold it like this kind of a situation.
Are the screws T-6?
No, actually the body screw back here is T6, and I'm pretty sure that the pivot screw is a T8. I think, might be wrong on that. It looks like a T8.
Don Bond would like to show the knife with Milady on it.
Milady.
What is it?
Just a second here, Dom. So this knife is the TwoSun TS-124, and it's got kind of this, I don't know what you want to call it, reverse Tonto modified sheep's foot style blade. It is a Wong design. If you can see there, if I get the lighting correct, it's a Wong design, and
by Triple E.
Later on Triple E. It is rocking 12C27 blade steel. This 12C27 from TwoSun performs fantastic. I've got some cut test videos up with it, and actually BJ from Hilltop Knives and Gear just posted one the other day. But as you can see here, it's full titanium build. It is a frame lock and, you know, flipper. And they actually make this in this version here that's got the lady on it. And you can also get this in a couple of different colors. They make it in like purple, green, and I think like a bronze color. And then they make the exact same knife. It's got the exact same silhouette, except for the scales are contoured and they just have milling lines. So it does not have the girl, but you still do have the Hooter hump right here. So I call that the Hooter hump. And so if you get the 124 without the girl on it, it still has this hump right here.
What's the model number?
The TS-124. So really cool knife. And if you can see here, you can see that the girl is all raised. So there's, you know, there's difference in elevation here. The Hooters are not raised. Just saying. The entire body of the girl is at the same elevation. It's not a topographical Hooter
what a
placement.
shame.
Yeah.
So dumb.
But anyway,
lovely lady lumps.
Yeah, lovely lady lumps. There you go. Yeah. JB knows what's up. So definitely a cool knife and a really useful blade shape. You know, it works really well, and you can pick this knife up super cheap.
The Woohoo 124. Oh, you guys are funny.
Yeah, perfect. So, oh, hey Mick, how you doing? I didn't see you in here. So yeah, the 124 is a cool knife, and like I said, you can get it in multiple variants. And because it's 12C27, I mean, you can pick these things up dirt cheap. I mean, I've seen them go as low as like $30, and for, you know, grade 5 titanium 12C27 that'll literally hold an edge for hundreds of feet of cardboard. I've tested it, and so have several other guys, and you know, it's riding on ceramic bearings, ceramic detent ball. You know, centering absolutely spot on.
Boobs and balls.
Yeah, it's got boobs and balls. Centering, it's in there like swimwear. Like, I mean, it's perfect. It really is. And you can buy this knife cheaper than you can buy you know, a Spyderco Tenacious or something. Like, and this is, you know, it's not even comparable. I mean, you're talking 8CR versus, you know, this 12C27. You're talking titanium versus well, I guess the Tenacious does have G10, but you get what I'm saying here. This is just such a huge upgrade. It's quite shocking. So the TS-124, definitely a great knife. And for the guys out there that are looking at TwoSuns, this one right here, this is a spectacular knife. This one also is in 12C27 blade steel. This is the TS-162 or 162. This is another Wong design. If I can get the lighting correct there. And I've modified this one on the back side of the blade. I cut down. It used to kind of hump up a little bit. It's still a good looking knife the way it came, but I like it better like this. And this is my personal opinion. But you can see the carbon fiber on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Catches the light beautifully. It's all titanium construction. You know, it's a titanium bolster lock with a hardened steel insert, riding on ceramic bearings. It's just a gorgeous knife. And you can get this in either 12C27 or S90V. And the 12C27 version you can get for like 50 or 60 bucks. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous knife. Action, as you can see here, it's just beautiful. And in the hand, you know, it works. It's really, really well done. So also going on the really great value, and we're talking value, we're going to get the baby Barlow out of the way. These knives, which I actually got both of these, or no, I did not get this one. This one came from one of my viewers, and this one here came from Mr. Big Red EDC. And I'm really impressed with both of these knives. So for those that don't know, both of these are Rough Riders. And as far as I know, both of them are trappers. This is the copper something edition. I can't remember what they I don't remember what it's called. Something copper. And you can see that it is bone or horn or something. I don't know, some type of natural material, whether it's bone or horn or something. JB can probably speak more to this because I know he has this exact model. But you've got these match strike nail nicks or poles here, and you've got the spay blade, which happens to be
both trappers.
Yeah. Just a little over 3 inches in length, like 3 1/4.
The copper coil series.
Copper coil, that's what it is. And then you've got the clip point blade there. And I looked these things up, and they're like $12 or something. It's quite shocking. And I mean, yes, you know, we're talking 440 or you know, whatever, some type of stainless. But, you know, the centering is not perfect on the copper coil one, but it's not bad. They're not rubbing either side. But this one that JD sent me is perfectly centered. If I can get the camera to focus. Both blades are perfectly centered. And you've got the same two blades. You got the same match strike poles there. And you've got a clip point and a spay blade there. Same lengths. But they're just really, really well made. And, you know, for under $20, it boggles my mind that they can build this for that cheap and ship it over here and put it on someone's shelf. You know, everyone that touches this along the way is making some sort of profit off of it. So I have no idea what they're selling these things for in China to the dealer, but it's got to be, you know, they got to be selling this thing for like $4 or something, or $3. I don't even know.
You said that smooth tobacco bone.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, and this one I couldn't find. I actually looked it up to try to find this one on Smoky Mountain, and I couldn't find this exact version. But, you know, certainly that had a bunch of other Rough Rider trappers on there. And, yeah, it really just shocks me. You know, I mean, yes, the thing comes from China. You know, I'm not sitting here trying to say that this thing's better than a case knife or a GEC or anything remotely close to that. I don't know enough about those knives to even speak on them. I'm not a huge traditional guy, but I do know when something's made well, and this thing's just made well. It just is. You know, I mean, all the edges are really well ground, and you know, everything's polished where it should be. The pins, you know, nothing's loose on it. There's not excessive blade play or anything like that. The action works well. The pull is good. Now, I will say these do not have a half stop, but again, I'm not a huge traditional guy, so I really, you know, I'm not gonna. I don't know enough to say whether or not that's a great thing or not or whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I just am pretty blown away that they can sell this for so cheap. It really boggles my mind.
Dom said, "Hey OCD, want me to send you a couple GC to review?" And Big Red said these aren't perfect, but every bit worth what you pay.
Well, yeah, and you know,
seems like everybody is in agreement that, you know, for the money, it's worth it.
Well, yeah, Dom, if you want to, you can hit me up, send me an email, and we can talk about it. I'd love to check out. I've never something like this or how it compares. Like I said, I've just never really been into traditionals. But one of the things that really, you know, everybody associates Civivi with doing budget knives. And, you know, for me, I'm looking at these things recently, and like, just like the ones I have on my table here, I've got the McKenna in Damascus. I've got the gent, or the rustic gent, and I have, wherever it went, oh, there it is, the backlash in Damascus. And this one is not mine. The backlash is not my knife. But they really worked their way, what I would say is getting out of the budget world. You know, when they first came out, they were doing 9CR blades, and the knives were like $38. And I'm talking like the Praxis, the Plethoros, and I don't remember what the names were of the very first few Civivis that came out. But, you know, when I think of a budget knife, I think of something like this right here. This is a Kubi Noble, and it's a great little knife. And this thing's actually an expensive Kubi knife. This was another acquisition from JB out there at Big Red EDC. But this thing's like a $40 knife, and that's an expensive Kubi knife. But I really feel like, you know, everybody freaked out about Civivi and how amazing they were, the first few versions that they brought out. And then ever since those first few knives, the price immediately went to that. You know, they changed the steel from 9CR to D2. I think they did a few in VG10 in the middle there, and then the price doubled, and they started selling them for $70 or $80. And you know, the right now, as far as Civivis go, this is one of the cheap purchase. I totally screwed up the flip there. Shredder. This. I think they still sell this for under $60, if I remember right. This one's like $55, and it's definitely a great knife. Love the hollow grind. Love the blade hole, and love the pocket clip on the Hogue Deca, which is great. But you know, it really kind of has me scratching my head, because I'm looking at this knife right here, and it's not made any better than those very first Civivis that came out, the you know, Plethoros and the Praxis and the Anthropos and whatever those first original ones are. I mean, they were made this exact same way with 9CR 18 MOV blade steel, and they were half the money. So, you know, I don't know if Civivis, if they just looked at it and said, oh, these guys will pay more, or what, but it's kind of, I feel like everybody at this point has kind of just started to group all these guys in. If it's under $100, it's a budget knife. And I would somewhat agree with that if it's under $100, but $100 buys you such drastically different things from different companies. You know, this Stretch 2 with plastic scales or FRN and VG10, this is like $95 from Spyderco right now today. And for the for $100, you can also purchase this Indela, or I'm sorry, the Endura in Damascus. That's also $100. But let me see here. You can also purchase this knife for that same kind of money. And this is a QSP Pelican. And this one's rocking S35VN with brown canvas micarta, titanium pocket clip, riding bearings. Action is stellar. It's a liner lock, great knife, and it's also right in that $100 range.
I feel like you guys are gonna start chanting down with D2 here shortly. They're not.
Yeah, no. Okay. So, and then also for $100, actually for just $100, I think I gave $104.95 for this buck 110, or buck 110. Good Lord.
No.
Sorry. This is a buck 830 Marksman, but this happens to be the SK Blades version. This one's called an Inferno. And you can find these from SK Blades, and they do go on sale. I've seen them on sale a bunch of times. They have either the Gray Ghost or the Inferno. This is the Inferno. And I picked this thing up for under $110. It was, I think, $104.95. So, you know, these are $100 knives. And, you know, just to throw this out there right now, Real Steel sold this thing for $40 through Knife Center. And then once it sold out, now you can get a yellow and black one of these with yellow G10 and a black blade and hardware and pocket clip. And they're like 75 or 80 bucks. So I almost feel like these, especially the Chinese companies, are just throwing stuff to see what, or, you know, and they raise the price to just see how far they can push it and what people are willing to pay. You know, because you can still get stuff like this. This is an absolutely beautiful knife. Action is stellar, full titanium. Now, whether or not this is your style or whatnot, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the construction of it. Pocket clip's great. It's super well constructed. It's got micro milling lines similar to the Drunken on it, which is really, really cool. I don't know how, you know, if Mike's going to show it off or not, but it's super cool the way that it's got these little squiggly micro milling lines on it. And this thing is rocking D2 blade steel. And you can buy this knife all day long for, you know, like 50 bucks. So you've got D2, titanium, on bearings, all ceramic bearings, ceramic detent, hardened steel, over travel stop, all the stuff, insert, you know, and you can get this thing for under 50 bucks all day long.
What's the best blade steel?
The best blade steel?
Yeah, for a pocket knife.
For a pocket knife. It depends on what you're using or what you're doing with it. So if you're just looking for like the king of edge retention, what's going to last the longest, you're going to be looking for something like Maximed or Rex 45 or, you know, something like that. Probably Rex 45, I guess, is probably going to be the winner there. So
just curious. I don't know. Everybody's piping in too.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, there's tons and tons of blade steel.
I don't do knife steel. I was just curious.
I don't know. You know, I mean, once you start getting into those really crazy high-end steels, you know, Spyderco has made Maximate fairly easily to get, or fairly easy to get, but
Do you have a
yeah.
knife with Maximet?
I do not. I do not have one in Maximet. I did have a Spyderco in Maximet that I sold.
Oh.
But yeah,
Crew wear?
Crew wear is also another good one.
Do you have one of those?
I again did have, don't anymore. So yeah, I have, this is M4, and this is a
I hear
good
you say that
performer.
one a lot. M4.
Okay. So
An S90V.
yeah. Yeah.
I didn't mean to start a big debate. I was just curious.
Yeah, and it will too. This is that. Yeah, you're pulling on a thread there that will pull out.
Might be
a massive ball of shit.
Didn't mean to start some tea.
But yeah, so definitely, I don't know, guys. I'm just looking at what people are spending and what people are charging for these knives. Like this thing right here, I've been hearing so much talk about this knife for the last like week and a half or so. And this thing is, this thing's in VG10, and I don't know if it's anything fantastic or not. It's a O-stop held design, and it's a large slip joint for sure, which I guess is kind of cool.
You can't be friends with J. Cool anymore because you don't have crew wear.
Oh, right on. So if that's the way you're going to be, Kurt, then I'm just going to take my toys and go home.
I'm going to take all my knives and I'm going to go home.
Right. I am home, but you know what I meant. So, this thing right here, when I tore into this knife to see how it was constructed, I was less than impressed. It just, it's not a hard use knife. It's just, I feel like they're not even really trying that hard. They just rushed this thing out because it was something that was slightly better than D2, and it had micarta scales on it, and they just out the door. And I guess it worked because they sold all of them. However many the Knife Center had of these, they sold them all in just a few days.
Do you think that's a factor here in like using these less than wonderful steels? As knife companies are just eager to get the next thing out the door without making it quality?
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
Love the morph. So how come Big Red EDC's got a bunch of bummed out faces going?
I don't know why you crying, Big Red. Buck up, man.
J. Cool likes crew wear because it's got a cool name.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah. No, and I think Vanex Super Clean, I think, is for sure. But yeah, I don't know, guys. There's
because he's dead to J. Cool. Is that Kurt?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because he's dead to me.
Gotcha. Oh, gotcha. Why don't you lay your gigantic heat on your pillow and cry yourself to sleep?
Yeah. Nice. So I had a few people comment. Overwhelmingly, I had good positive comments about the couple Max Ace knives that I just released a video on. But there were a few people that weren't pumped on these two knives. And I just liked them because they were something different. And Max Ace was a brand that I personally had no experience with.
Zach knows what's up. Pence. No.
Yeah. Nice. Cry yourself to sleep on your big pillow. Anyway, so yeah, both of these knives, from a construction standpoint, are extremely well made. They're significantly under $100, and both of them, I think, are pretty. They definitely both have their own appeal, and they're not perfect. They're not flawless, but they're extremely well made, and for in that 50 to they're pretty impressive. compared to what else is out there. So, so there are some other brands out there that is not Civivi and I don't have a CJRB sitting here right at the moment. I do have this one Kubi. But you know, CJRB is definitely, actually, I do have a CJRB somewhere.
Feeds choppy.
I do have a CJRB. I have the Centros. So this is a fantastic knife that, you know, is under 40 bucks. This thing's like 37 or $8, something like that. And it's stellar. And so, you know, this is what Civivi was in the very beginning. And I guess maybe just because Civivi was first to the game in this kind of budget, I don't know, decent budget bearing D2, whatever that we see so much of today. Maybe they can just charge more now, I guess, because I would argue, I mean, unless there's a significant difference in the steel on these two, which both are D2. So I don't expect there to be a big difference in the steel, but maybe there is slightly. The Civivi has got a really nice hollow grind where the Centros does not, but still, you know, these knives I would say really compete well against each other, and you know the difference is that. The Civivi is a third again more money. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems kind of strange to me that the prices just keep going up and up on what is supposed to be a budget knife. So the did someone ask about it?
No, I was just touching it.
Gotcha.
I don't know what any of these are. I couldn't. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but
Molly's over here fingering the Orca, guys. So I thought someone was asking about it.
No, it's just me touching it.
Gotcha. And then on the Civivi with the rustic gent, they send you this thing here. Nice. And although it's very nicely made and it's got the Civivi style pocket clip on it, I really don't know what to use it for.
It is dirty.
I put it on my.
Big Red said that sounds dirty.
Yeah. And Big Red, yeah, the $25 to $50, I feel like CJRB is just doing better than Civivi right now. I really do.
Which is my favorite of what? Kurt. Go ahead.
Yeah, this thing right here, I put this thing in my pocket with the rustic gent in there. And I tried it both directions, like tip up or tip down. And it takes up a huge amount of space in your pocket. Like if you put this in your front pocket with this, you know, like you would with a knife, put this on the exterior of your pocket. This thing's large and I'm just not, maybe it's just because I'm not used to that. And honestly, I feel like if you're going to carry that like that, you would have to put a lanyard on there to be able to grab the knife out of this little slip.
Yeah, and saying put it on your belt. But yeah, we talked about that, and
yeah,
we just don't foresee it really working for Justin anyway. Maybe for somebody else.
I'm just talking about my own experience. So, you know, if for someone else, hey man, if this thing works for you, rock it, dude. Like
I'm gonna touch some knives because they're asking me what my favorite on the table is.
Oh, gotcha. Touch some knives. So I just thought it was strange, you know, although it's very nicely made. I love the fact that they did the Civivi logo and the name in there. I mean, it's nice, no doubt about it. It just I just don't find it useful for me, and like it forces you into using a lanyard, which I don't do on my knives.
Dogs.
And lanyards are not something that I'm really into, and the whole lanyard bead game is, yeah, like the lanyard beads. I have a couple of them that I just like set on my desk or something, just because they're cool to look at because they're all machined or something. But but I just don't carry them on a knife. So
I picked three.
To me, you know, in the under $100 range, something like this right here is an absolutely knife. It's comfortable. It performs beautifully. Super thin behind the edge. A great performing blade steel. Pocket clip is full deep carry. There's really nothing that I don't like about this knife. The way the tang of the blade is ground, it's meant for one-handed operation. So you can see right there, even when you have the lock bar pushed down all the way, the blade still hits a little bit right in that location. So it stops before the blade closes on your fingers. So you can see that every time it'll stop right there, which is absolutely gorgeous. I really, really enjoy that. And, you know, compared to...
Oh, Stasa. Hi.
Hey, Nick, what's up? Where's... Oh, here it is right here. The native chief, it does not do that. So it will absolutely bite you if you let it. And I love the knife. It's a great knife. And, you know, certainly fits my hands and all that good stuff. For the money and for several other reasons, I feel like this is the better value. Yeah, so the Manly Peak is a great knife for sure.
Okay, my turn.
All right, you go. Do your thing.
Close your knife.
Oh, sorry. Good Lord. Jesus, God, what'd you do to her while I was running my mouth? Now she's yelling at me.
I will put things on here. You tell them what they are.
Okay.
I know this is a Hogue. This, out of everything here, this fits my hand. It feels the best in my hand. And it's a Hogue something or other.
That?
Yeah.
That's the Hogue Deca.
Okay. That one. I like that one in my hand for a lady hand. Get this out of here.
Apparently she doesn't like the Marksman.
Now, these one, I just like it because I like the way it looks. I love the Endura for the navy blue with the Damascus. Most of you guys know how I feel about Damascus. Oh, this is
Let's
my real true cut.
Yeah, let's pull that one out.
This is my hand size version, the Delica. I really like it. It feels good in my hand. It's pretty.
Just real quick, that's what I meant right there. When I closed the Endura, it bit me. Doing the exact same. When I closed it, the blade came around and hit my finger.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, I was used to this.
Well, you can't do that. And then I really like this guy. I like flipper tabs. They make me happy. That's what you call those, right?
Well, that's what, you know.
The little Husker Du on the back.
A flipper tab, yes.
Yeah, I like that. That makes me happy. I like to open knives like these. And I also like that one just because it's Damascus. And it does feel good in my hand. Like, I'm not big on bigger knives like this, but I do enjoy these guys. I would say, like, for everyday use, I would probably choose the Deca because it's the most comfortable in my hand. But on a regular basis, what I actually carry is, well, thank you for, I just did my nails. That's why I have a lovely lady hand. I carry, which is not here right now because it got HRC tested, is a mini Griptilian. And that's my per carry. And then on the regular daily here at home in the kitchen that I leave on the counter at all times.
Yeah, JB, this is Blur, and it's got some junk on it.
Yeah, it's assisted and I love it and it's great. I use it in the kitchen cutting open boxes and stuff, but I also use it out. Watch yourself. I also use it You know, I don't know if Justin's really mentioned, but we've got horses and chickens, and you know, I've got some outside animals too. And
we have a damn zoo.
We have a damn zoo, and I love it. That's my hobby. I use this every single day, all day long, out there and in here. So those are my picks. What I actually use, one that's not, and then I don't need another knife. I know you guys know this. I don't need another knife. But if I were to choose another knife out of what was laying here, this feels best in my hand. I like the way it looks. But
and she's also used to the access lock from the Benchmade, so I'm sure that that's also goes.
Yeah, that plays a
That
part
plays in
as
there.
well. I'm not a big fan of, what are those?
Liner lock.
Liner locks. You know, because you for me as well. Although I've never ran into one that I can't do, it doesn't mean that I like them, you know.
Yeah, the Blur is a liner lock, but it's a real simple, easy one, and it's got a lot of relief, a lot of access to the liner.
Yeah.
So that one's real easy to get to.
Yeah, and that knife I've gotten so used to, I think it doesn't bother me, you know, because of that factor as well. It's easy to use, and I'm very used to it. Whereas, you know, when I handle a lot of these other knives that Justin has coming in and out of here, I don't love liner locks because most of the time they're just too stiff for me. So I stay away from them. So that's what I do.
Hey, Ohio.
Yes, I have chickens. I have many chickens, in fact.
Yeah, you have chickens and ducks and horses and miniature.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, now don't let him.
Hey, Rodney, how are you doing?
He's all in on the chickens. He doesn't like the ducks. He complains about them all the time.
I hate the ducks. They bitch all the time. They don't ever shut up.
They're pretty catty.
They just run around. No pigs, fifth arch. But yeah, the ducks don't ever shut up all night, all day, just constant running their mouths. So yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, you pick one up and then set it back down to go off with the rest of the group, and they all like bitch it to each other, like, oh my god, can you believe that woman just touched me? And it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, the ducks are a pain in the ass,
but they love me when there's watermelon.
the chickens I don't mind so much. They're pretty good to watch, and we got some swings in their area, and they ride the swings, which is pretty funny. And yeah, love
yeah,
digging the chickens for sure. But
yeah, the chickens are fun.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, sorry we were late getting in here tonight. We've gone well over an hour at this point. I was scrambling around like an idiot trying to get this stuff set up, and then screwed it up, and it wouldn't work with the cam, so I had to. It was just a mess. But yeah, if anybody's got any questions or anything before we finish up here, go ahead and shoot them out.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of eating duck. It's not my most favorite thing in the world. I agree, too greasy.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying some of these out on the ducks. Maybe something like this.
The duck egg with the catty mouths.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys do get some ducks, you can sell their eggs to the girls that work at nail salons. Wink, wink. I'm just being honest. Like, you know.
Well, I'll say in our area, people of Asian descent are into a lot of duck egg usage, and also culinary students in the baking side of things. They utilize duck eggs for their baking. They're a better egg for baking, I've come to learn.
Okay.
So they are willing to pay for the duck eggs for sure. And
So like I said, if you have ducks and you need to sell their eggs, go check out the nail salons, which is
Local college or culinary school.
The politically correct term in descent.
Well,
so anyway,
just trying to be PC for the.
So Mick wants a video on the chickens. Gerald has had chickens, horses, and all that. You need a duck now, dude. Yeah. I will ship you a duck. I'm sure I can box one of those little bastards up.
Fun to shoot.
UPS would probably kick it out though for bitching the whole way.
Right?
Yeah.
This box is loud and bitchy.
Need to see the ducks. All right. So I'll do something. We'll get the animals involved in a video at some point. We can definitely do that here at some point. Yeah. Bedtime. So if anyone has any questions, like I said, go ahead. If not, we will catch you next time. Thanks a lot for showing up, guys. I'm sorry that it was such a shit show getting this whole deal started, but I appreciate the guys that stopped in to check it out and have a good time. It was a little chaotic and I didn't have time to do what I wanted to do, but whatever, it was fun nonetheless.
What color is your shirt? Is the question.
Grayish. It's a Carhartt hoodie that I'm wearing at the moment. I don't know. It's gray, right?
It's grayish blue.
Yeah, bluish gray, steel gray. I don't know that. It really brings out the color in my eyes. So
it really does.
Yeah. It was a good live. Right on, G. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It was a complete and total shit show getting this thing rolling. I felt like a complete ass telling people we were going to do this at 7:30 and then literally did not walk in our house until after 7:30. It was a total mess. Last time we went out and had dinner with friends on a Sunday night, I couldn't even tell you. That probably hasn't happened in 2 years on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
But anyway, it happened tonight and it's just the way it is. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to do for the next one. So we're planning on doing this on Sunday nights. Molly's enjoying it and bullshit with you guys and having fun. So I think I'm going to do some anodizing. I've had a bunch and see how it works out. And yeah, we'll definitely be more prepared for that. And anyway, thanks a lot, guys.
And if you guys have any suggestions for ideas, like if you want to do a Q&A, if you want to do,
Mick, you have a great week as well.
It's not my fault. Nothing's my fault.
Everybody enjoy your week, and we will talk to you next time. Thanks, guys.